What's going on? Welcome back. My name is Vikram Deol. I am the co-founder of the Real Estate Growth Academy. I teach the conscious communication method. What is the conscious communication method? It is actually bringing awareness to the words that we use, the body language, the tonality, how we use words, how we shift our momentum, how we shift our phrasing, how we shift our energy with our clients and prospects. And in the Real Estate Growth Academy, we're doing a role play session on Monday. And one of our teams sends his team members in. And she's a newer person, newer agent, just recently licensed. And she has what I call the happy puppy syndrome. The happy puppy syndrome, right? So we're role playing, we're doing our thing, and we're working on our tonality. Everything's going great. And then the client says, yeah, I am ready to buy. And her tonality pitches up. She gets happy puppy. She goes from being super calm and collective to like smiling on the role play. And the prospect, right, the person she was role playing with, which is another new agent, didn't pick up on that little 2 millimeter shift, right? But you could watch the Zoom and you could see other people, because she got happy puppy, other people were like, ooh, something clicked. That was weird. And what we need to do as salespeople, as real estate agents, is we need to realize that people are going to say yes to us. People are going to want to work with us. We are going to use language and tone and body. Even if you're on a phone call, your body makes such an impact on the conversation. So we need to realize that people are going to say yes to us, and we have to stop the happy puppy. So today, I want to teach you guys something that I learned and I've been implementing, and my partner implements in his call center with all of his salespeople. And it's the best way to open a conversation. And here's what most people do. Most people go ring, ring. And the first thing that comes out of their mouth will be like, hi, is Vikram there? And how do you think the prospect is going to respond when you get a phone call that's like, hi, is John available? Hi, is this John? Hey, are you the owner of the house? How do you respond to something like that? My reaction is always, oh, this is a sales call. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. I don't know why you're calling me, but I didn't sign up for your insurance list. I didn't sign up. I don't have a car. I don't live in America right now. I don't need car insurance, right? Like, I don't want you talking to me. And that's how 98% of phone calls start. Or if it's a follow-up call, it's ring, ring. Hi, this is Vikram. I'm just calling to follow up with you because I remember you told me 3 months ago that you wanted to buy a house. And the prospect's like, oh, yeah, hey, thanks for calling. And then you go, hey, how are you? And really, the prospect doesn't know you. They don't like you. They don't want to talk to you. And you're asking them how they are, like your best friends, like, oh my God, how are you? I missed you so much, honey. How's life been? And you don't know them. You don't have the right to chat like that. You don't have the rapport built to chat like that. And yet that's how you were trained, or worse, you weren't trained, and you're just kind of going off of what you feel would be the right way to open a conversation. And if you're like a lot of the people that start working with me, you might have some success, right? You might be making 5 or 10 deals a year, but you're never getting to that elusive 20 or 30 or 40 or 50, right? You're never getting to that 200 mark, that 300K mark, that 500K mark. You're kind of stuck at where you're stuck at, or you're just getting massive amounts of rejection and you don't know why. Because when we don't open the prospect up the right way, if we don't open the conversation up the right way, what happens is the prospect has red flags. The consumer is so educated on our sales processes, y'all. Like, you are the only one that has access to this YouTube channel. Your consumer has access to this YouTube channel. 8 years ago, I was doing Facebook Lives with my team, and we were role-playing in real life on Facebook Live. And our consumers got to see it. And I loved that they got to see our process. I loved that they got to see how we worked harder than everybody else. But guess what? They got to be educated on how our sales process works. And guess what? They are constantly learning. My dad's a doctor. About 2 years, 3 years ago, we opened a business together. And he says, hey, son, I signed up for this sales program. And I'm like, oh, really, Dad? Interesting. And, he was giving a lot of the guru tactics, but he was educating himself on how to be a better salesperson. And he's a physician, right? So everybody's learning how to do sales. You're not the only one. Your consumer's learning how to sell. They might be in sales, but we're all selling. So here's how we're going to open up the conversation. So instead of saying like, hi, how are you? Or a bunch of like random chatter, we're going to say this. We're going to say ring, ring. The prospect's going to pick up the phone. Hello. You're going to say, hi, Susan. She's going to say yes. Or she might say, who's this? You're going to say, Susan Smith. And she's going to say, yes. Who's this? Right? You've twisted the frame that they're hearing from the average, unfortunately, untrained sales professional. You've twisted the frame that 99% of real estate agents say. And when you say, hi, Susan, yeah, it throws her off because that sounds familiarity, right? Like, hey, I already know who this is. If I call a phone number, I don't assume that it's the wrong number. Most salespeople and real estate agents, they assume that it's the wrong number. And that's why they say, hi, is this Susan? Why would we assume in the world of big data that we live in that the information that we have collected is the wrong information, right? Nobody uses landlines. Everybody has cell phones. My grandma has a cell phone. She's 80 years old. She has an iPad and an iPhone, right? We call her cell phone now, not her house phone, because she's never at home, right? She's always outside in the garden, on the farm. So why would you assume as a sales professional that the information you have is not correct? Let's flip our frame and assume that when we call a phone number that has a name, especially if you got it in real life, like if you got that at an open house, if you got that because you're out door knocking, if you got that information because you're prospecting with cold calls and expireds, if you've already had a conversation, you already know that that's their phone number. Why do we have to assume that it's not? So that's a huge frame. So ring, ring. Hi, Susan, right? Hi, Susan. She's going to say yes. You say Susan Smith, and she's going to say yes. Who's this? Hey, this is Vikram, right? Or depending on what you're doing, right? If you're doing a FSBO, I might not go right into who I am. I might call and say, ring, ring. Hi, Susan. Yes. Susan Smith. Yes. Hey, I was wondering if 123 Trega is still for sale, or did you already sell it? I was wondering if 123 Trega is still for sale, or did you already sell it? Right? If you're calling a prospect that's been like pushing you off and pushing you off and pushing you off, we're not ready to buy. We're not ready to buy. We're not ready to buy. Ring, ring. Hi, John. Yeah. John Doe. Yeah. Who's this? Hey, this is Vikram. I was wondering if purchasing a home is a 2023 Q1, Q2 project, or if it's a 2023 Q3, Q4 project, right? You're switching the frame. They might not remember you, but they're like, wait, who's this? Oh, hey, John, this is Vikram with Real Brokers. We've been talking for a long time, and I know you keep saying call you back, but I was just curious. What is buying a home? Is it a Q1, Q2 project, or is it a Q3, Q4 project? Because now what you're asking them is a sorting question. And when we ask these types of sorting questions, the prospect changes, right? So learning how to open your first 5 seconds of a call changes everything. It changes the dynamic of the call. It changes the outcome of your call. It changes how the prospect talks to you. It changes all of the aspects of it. Right. And then when you get your tone, and this is stuff that we teach inside the Real Estate Growth Academy, I got a bunch of other programs, but these are the things that I teach my clients, even my one-on-one clients, the same thing we work on, right? If you really want to accelerate, we practice a lot. And the reason why is because when we practice, I can give you feedback. Because if you practice with somebody who doesn't know, you're going to get no feedback, or they're going to be like, oh, you sound great. And you're like, well, I'm not getting any results. I keep getting hung up on, right? One of our new clients who just started with us, she goes, oh my God, I had no idea how I sounded. Now I see why prospecting's so hard, because I'm saying the exact words that ping, 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 red flag, red flag, red flag. So if you want to learn how to get better, we teach this inside the Real Estate Growth Academy, but if you want to learn how to get better, just work on your first 15 seconds, right? Ring, ring. Hi, Susan? Yeah. Hi, John? Yeah. Hi, Vikram? Yeah. Just assume that it's the right person and then go Vikram Deol. They're going to be like, yeah, who's this? Like literally 98% of the people say, yeah, who's this? And now we can pitch into something else. And the other thing is another quick tip, and then I'm going to let you guys go. When somebody picks up the phone, I just always assume they're not busy, right? I just make the assumption that they're not busy, because if I was busy, I would, like right now I'm recording, I'm not going to pick up the phone. But if I do pick up the phone, it's probably because I am not busy at the moment, which means that I'm available for a conversation. So I wish you more success than ever. The real estate market is harder than ever. Sales have become more complicated because your consumer is more educated. This is the time to double and triple down your efforts, not to go half. This is the time to double and triple down your efforts. This is the time that you can really build your skills. And if you need more help, let me know. I love you. I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next video.